Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Hey guys, I am back. I am feeling much better. If you are just joining, don't be afraid. Don't feel like you missed anything because I started this by myself. So you are not late. I began this last week before I got sick. So you didn't miss anything. And I'm just picking up where I left off because your girl was very, very sick and wasn't able to do any of this. So don't worry, you did not miss anything. I already picked out my colors, so we don't have to fight over that. So we can just chill, relax, vibe. I can show you what colors once more people join, so I don't have to do it a million times. But I can show you all of that. Hi, I'm feeling much better. Thank you for asking. I'm about I would say 80% back. I'm not all the way there, but I'm definitely better. It's getting there. But I felt like I was in a place where I could come on live and see what y'all are doing, because it's been a minute. It has been a hot minute. I'm trying to find the markers that I had set aside for this pretty lady. This is from the coloring calendar. So I am doing September. I'm late, but I was sick. Better late than never. So I was like, I'm just gonna get into it. Thank you for the kind words. So I already told the early joiners that I already picked out my colors. This is the vibe. I started this, it was supposed to go up last week before I got sick, but Miss Rona came to pay me a visit. So this is the vibe. Very fall, very September, very pumpkin spice. So I'm just trying to make sure I have my colors somewhere, because I don't know. I literally was down here coloring and I was like, I don't feel good. And now it's like a crime scene. Everything just dropped in that instant. The coloring books are available in the link in my bio. I'm feeling much better. Thank you for asking. So I'm happy to be on. I'm happy to get into it. So I'm just gonna start. I don't know what that sound is that comes on every once in a while in my basement, but apologies for the disruption. I wanted her to have a latte feel to her. She's out for a coffee run on a nice chilly September day, even though September is not really that chilly. It gets chilly. It's been kind of chilly around here. Not like you need a jacket chilly, but you can wear a jacket chilly. Thank you so much for the kind words. Hello, hello. Welcome in. Y'all already know the drill. If I go on mute, it's because I'm coughing up a lung. Still healing. Still healing. I haven't used my voice that much yet. So we'll see how many miles I can put on this thing before she quits on me. Okay. Yes, the markers are Ohuhu markers. I have them linked in my Amazon shop in my bio. You can get them on TikTok shop, I think. You can get them directly from their website as well. Coughing up a lung right now. Listen, it's that season. People are sick. Very sick. My whole family had it. I had it the worst. Last year when I had it, that was the first time I ever had it, and I had it the easiest. So I guess they said this time around, you're the winner. And it knocked me right out. Still can't smell. Still can't taste. Can't do nothing. But I could color. Amen. Okay. So let me see what color I want to shade with. Thank you so much for the well wishes. Where do you think your passion from drawing and coloring came from? Um, Honestly, I think I was born with it. I think there's certain things that you kind of have like a natural gravitation towards, and art just has always been that for me. And I always knew I wanted to pursue it. I went to school for it. So I think it was kind of just in my bones. I don't come from a traditionally creative background or family, but my parents are both more creative than I think they realize, and I think I pulled from that. But I just kind of always leaned towards it. So that's that. Hi, guys. Hello, hello. I've been trying to still post a little content here and there. Give y'all something to chew on while I healed. Let y'all know I was still here thinking about y'all. Even though I know you guys wouldn't mind. But it gave me something to do. It gave me something to do. You always make me happy. I'm going to buy one of your comic books for the kid I nanny. Her name is Coco. Oh, I love that. I love that. Thank you so much. What's coming soon with Brewmate? Cups. I can show you a sneaky peeky. Let me pull up the pictures. Make sure you guys show some love on the post when it comes out. And I posted a teaser with them in connection with them today, but I'll show you some of the pictures that we're gonna release. It's giving very much Oprah moment, so don't make fun of me. Okay. So we got cups, y'all. This is what's coming out this week. The live girlies, the live coconuts get it first. So these are coming out. It has my artwork on them, inspired by my coloring book line art. Very exciting. So those will be out. I named it the Grow with the Flow collection. They're green on green. They're so stunning in person. I'm obsessed. So make sure you guys keep an eye out for that. It's coming on the 20th. Stanley Who, and these ones are leak proof. Let me tell you something about that Stanley cup. That'll have everything in a 3-mile radius soaking wet. These, you can seal them and they do not leak. I'm just saying. The coconuts, they get it. So, that's what's coming out. I'm very excited. Y'all know I can't keep nothing from y'all. All it took was for someone to ask, and I'm like, okay, here you go. Top secret, NDA who. The coconut's ass, so I had to tell him I don't know what you want. You should make coloring books. I should. That's a good idea. I should definitely make some coloring books. Sorry, I'm being facetious. These are my coloring books, love. That's what I do. Okay. So, someone asked what markers. These are Hoo markers, by the way. Baby, I do make coloring books. I do. They're all linked in my bio. Okay. So, you know the drill. I take out the colored pencils. Hello, remember me? I was here when I had a bad day. Welcome back. Yes, I do sell them. How long does it take shipping on the books? I ordered last week. You should have got an email today. I sent out an email today just letting everyone know we had to halt all shipping because we all had COVID. So everything is delayed by a week. So it's unfortunate, but we are back in the swing of things. But we could not We couldn't do what it do. We could not do what it do. So we sent out a statement today. But we're all feeling better. Mr. Coco sent out probably like 60 orders this morning. So he is getting through that. He said he's going to have everything that's in the backlog plus anything new that comes in out by Friday. So if you can wait, definitely just be patient. If you needed it in a certain time and you no longer are interested, I did offer everyone the opportunity to cancel if that is better suits what you got going on. No harm, no foul, no questions asked. We will just issue you a refund and catch you next time. Yes, this is the calendar. This is September. You know, I'm a little behind, but it's better late than never. I know y'all don't mind. Bye, Sophie. Okay. So this is looking real cute. I don't have like an exact like caramel colored pencil like that. So I'm not sure what color. I used the peach on top of it. It's not exactly what I want looks wise, so I might just kind of go over it a little bit to add in that texture. Okay, just really lightly. I just want to give it a little more texture so it's not so smooth. I don't post my lives on YouTube. Is that something I should do? Is that a good idea? Doesn't hurt. Okay. I'm gonna take the white and see if this is giving anything on here. Just to add a little dimension. And these are Prismacolor colored pencils. Just in case anyone is asking in the chat. So what y'all been up to? Do I miss anything? Everything good? Everyone okay? I hope so. All right. So now I'm taking my Ohuhu marker in Burnt Sienna, YR95. And this is what I'm going to use for the hair color. Green hair. Yeah, pink eye. Oh no. That is not fun. I never dealt with pink eye until I had a child. And then they bring you home all types of stuff. So I hope for a speedy recovery for you. Okay, I can start putting the lives on YouTube. That's easy enough. I already got a channel up. So make sure you guys subscribe to me over there. My name is the same on there. I think I actually have it linked on my page too. Guys, I basically am finished. I think I have 2, maybe 1.5 months left for next year's coloring calendar. So at the end of this live, I'll show you guys what it's looking like. You know, y'all always get the tea in the lives, the first to see it. My husband and I were going back and forth about the colors. This is the time of year where we start beefing, turning into color wars. You think we be in color wars in this chat? You should see my husband and me when we start playing in these calendars. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for the nails. I'm feeling much better, thank you. And my husband is, I'm not going to say he's not an artist. He's not an artist in the sense like he draws, but he has the eye. he has the designer's eye. So, but he's like very like highbrow, like avant-garde. And I'm like, you gotta tone it back. You gotta tone it back. He began a little too creative, too out there. Where I'm like, okay, this just feels random to me. Like this is gonna be on someone's wall. Like let's tone it back a little bit, okay? It's so funny y'all be beefing when he don't be coloring. Hello? And he be like, what are you trying to say with this picture? Like, where's the message? I'm like, okay, take it easy, Van Gogh. I'm trying to say, nobody asked you. How do I say that in art? But every time, somehow, those arguments make the art better. So I gotta go through it. I gotta go through the beef. It always makes it better. Like, I'll show you guys like where I started and then where he was and then how it ended up. And it's just always better. And then I look at what I originally had, which I was like so confident in before I spoke to him. Then I'm like, damn, this was so much cuter 20 minutes ago. We're like, what happened? Okay. I am new. Sorry if this is a repeat question. I have a mixed nephew and I would love to get him some coloring books. Do you have any guys featured in them? I'm working on guys. I don't draw boys as good as I would like to. So one day I'm working on it. Did you draw that or did you buy it and color it? I drew it. This is from our 2023 coloring calendar. The 2024 coloring calendar, I might be able to release it earlier than I thought because I am very close to being done. But I like to release it at the same time as I release the traditional calendar. Because everyone does not want to color. Some people want it already colored beautifully for them. And that's like one of the iconic pictures, or iconic products, I should say, of Coco Michelle. I've been coming out with an annual calendar since 2019. So it's a lot of calendars. And each year they get better. Hopefully I don't have any price increase from our printer this year, because that would suck. So fingers crossed on that. Thank you for the nail compliments. What is my favorite coloring book I've made? I love them all, but I always say my first and my last will be my favorite, because the first is the one that started it all, and the last is the one that has all the learnings that I've gained from doing them. So that's my default answer. I really don't know how I would have time to do a fall coloring book, but it's just in my head. I really want to. I want to bad. So I'm not giving up hope yet. I just logistically, I have no idea how. So we shall see. I'm not making any promises. I'm just saying I'm holding out hope. Yeah, that linked in my bio. You can grab you any coloring books. The Coloring Club will definitely get some fall stuff. They've already been getting fall digital downloads. So they're definitely gonna see some fall stuff from me. But in terms of like, I don't like how this is open. In terms of like a physical coloring book, I'm gonna have to really finesse. Like, it might be super limited, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. So we'll see. Thank you so much, Brooklyn. How long for shipping? Did you place an order, or you are going to place an order? And where do you live? She's looking so cute. Okay. How much are for the books and where do I get them? They're linked in my bio and they're $16.95. Yes, you can definitely color along with me. I love that. I love that. Once I get everything like together, I'm gonna do a coloring Zoom with the Coconut Club so that we can all see each other and talk, and not just be me talking to myself and you guys having to write in the chat. So that would be fun. $16.95. Yes, Ohuhu markers, love that. I think I have some of your books. Well, I think that would be really cool. Thank you. I'm happy to be back. Obsessed already. Well, thank you. Yeah, she's definitely eating down. She knows. She's giving me Gabrielle Union in... What movie am I thinking of? Where she has that red dress on. What movie is that? She wasn't nice in that movie. She's usually not nice in movies. What movie is that? Not How to Be a Player. How to Lose a Man in 10 Days. No. What the hell? Two can play that game. That's what it is. Vivica's crazy self. I remember when I was working at Macy's, I was the buyer for area rugs at this time. And we got an email from Vivica because she had went to the Macy's in Chicago. She had went there and like furnished her whole apartment. She was living out there for something she was filming. And she sent us this email like saying like how excellent of service that she got, especially in the furniture area. And she just wanted to extend her gratitude. But her email address was like Ghetto Barbie, like something wild. I was like, girl, what? Vivica, let's get this email address together. Let's try something else. But at the same time, it was very Vivica, so I was like, I'm not surprised by this. Okay. I did. I started, you didn't miss too much, Brianna. I did a lot of this by myself before I was online. Yeah, I can tell you guys like kind of like my journey to get to where I am right now. Because there's a lot of like serendipitous moments where everything came full circle. So I went to school for fashion design, a small liberal arts college that no longer even exists actually, called Cazenovia College. Shout out to anyone who's heard of it. And I met my husband there. Love that for us. And I graduated, and before I graduated, I started applying for like literally 50 jobs a week in New York City. I wanted to move to New York City. I lived upstate. And I was applying for 50 jobs a week, and I heard back from one for a textile designer position. And I went to the interview, and they offered me a far, far, far below livable wage. And I obviously couldn't take that position. And I graduated, and my mom was like, listen, you can't just sit here and sulk and be depressed about not getting a job, so you need to find something to do in the meantime. So I went down to the mall and I got a job just as a part-time sales associate at Macy's. I got there, and literally my first day they were like, oh, we got something more for you. So they had me be a full-time specialist where I would, help the old ladies pick out their cashmere and their cardigan sets. And I was there for maybe about a month, miserable, working in the store. Was not happy at all. I started getting really focused on like health and wellness, and I tried to like bring myself out of my funk. I got engaged during this time, so there was like things that I was, felt like I was supposed to be happy about, and I was just too like focused on the fact that I was miserable at work, and I felt like I was wasting my life as a young 22-year-old. So I overheard in one of the Monday morning meetings that my manager, the assistant manager at our location, was graduating from the executive development program. And I stayed after the meeting, and I went up and I was like, congratulations. Do you mind telling me a little bit about like the executive development program and what that is? And she told me that Macy's had this program where recent college graduates could go through executive training, and if you get picked for the program, you're guaranteed a corporate position. So I was like, oh wow, that's interesting. And she was like, yeah, have you graduated? And I was like, yeah, I just graduated this past spring. She was like, they have different programs too, like not just for managers. I think they have one for buying. And I had went to school for fashion design, so buying is kind of like the corporate equivalent, I would say, where like a lot of girls that go to fashion school, they end up in buying or merchandising roles. So it wasn't necessarily as creative as I wanted, but it was definitely a way out of the store and into a space with more opportunity. And she's like, Macy's has a lot of design jobs in corporate, so maybe you could start off in buying and then kind of move your way over. So I was like, okay. And I applied for the position to go into the executive development program. And I remember someone close to me being like, how do you start a job and then a month later you're asking for a promotion as big as like going to corporate? Like there are people who work there for years who never even get to corporate. And I remember like at that age being so young and like almost naive, where like that thought never crossed my mind. And I'm glad that I didn't let that faze me, because that's like, why are you even telling me that? And I was like, I don't know, like I feel like I would be good at that job, so like I'm just gonna go for it. What are they gonna do? Tell me no? That's fine, but I'm gonna try. So in the meantime, like I haven't heard back. I'm literally telling anyone and everyone who will listen to me, like, I need to get out of here. I'm telling customers. There was this one woman who was like, oh my goodness, like you are so kind and you are so friendly. Like, I feel like you could be doing something else. And I was like, girl, if you know somebody, help me, please. You would think Macy's was beating me, okay? She told me she knew somebody that worked as a fashion designer for a kids brand, and that she would see if they would be interested in talking to me. And it led to a whole interview. I went on the interview, and I just like couldn't believe that like me just speaking up as a sales associate, I was like getting these like one-off opportunities, even if they didn't work out. Like I was just believing in the power of my own will, was very helpful to me because I was very high-key depressed during this time. So I get an email saying like, hey, we got your application, and we got word from someone internal that kind of like pushed my application through. And it was the girl who had graduated from the program. She had sent an email and basically pushed my application to the top because I guess they had already closed the application season. So that was a real blessing. And they wanted to interview me on my 23rd birthday. So on my 23rd birthday, I did my first interview for this promotion, and everything went really well. They were hyper focused on the fact that I was an art major and that I didn't have any business background. But baby, I can talk the talk. So I talked the talk. I explained like, hey, I've already been working at Macy's for several months. I understand your customer. I understand what they're looking for. I can bring like a unique perspective. You know, I was playing up about how my creativity helps me solve problems and think about things from a new and unique perspective. Like, I was laying it on thick, honey. Okay. I didn't hear anything from them for months. Months. I was like getting all down in the dumps again. And I was like, damn, I'm just trapped in this store in the mall. And I was feeling like really defeated. And then I got a call that they wanted to send me out to New York City for a 2-day interview. So I get on the train, I go down to the city, I do this 2-day interview, and I got in. I got into the executive development program, and I was so excited. I was going to be able to move to New York City and be with my man. And I just had all these visions of this big, sexy job. I was going to be in New York City, being a fashion buyer, going to all the fashion shows because all the buyers sit front row at the Fashion Week. I got there. My first day, they were like, okay, you're going to be in dining, dinnerware, and Christmas ornaments. Like, what? They're like, yes, you're going to be picking out what the most popular dog ornaments for the year will be and allocating them to the stores. I mean, this is not what I was expecting. I am a fashion designer. I am not picking out corgi ornaments. Child, yes, I was. Sorry, I'm trying not to cough. Let me cough for a second. I'm on mute. Whew. Okay, I feel better. So I was coughing, and now I feel like I can really get my story out. So they had me in there picking out gourmet chocolates, Christmas trim, and I loved it. I loved it. The expression bloom where you are planted, like that was me. I was enjoying every second of it. It was one of my favorite areas in the company because I got to merchandise the Christmas trees that you would see in Macy's on 34th Street. And I got to pick out what was going to be hot for the Christmas scene. And it was just such a weird and unique set of skills. And I loved it. So I did the Godiva chocolates. I did those mint chocolates. I forgot what those are called. I was all up in there. And I was there throughout the whole program, so only maybe 3 months. And then I was like, I want to stay in the home area. And I got placed in, I forgot to color in there. I got placed, what color did I just color that? Where did I put that marker? I got placed in the personal care and home environment area. So I was in charge of vacuums, fans, humidifiers, heaters, that kind of stuff. Home organization. And I was really finding my stride, and I really enjoyed it. And I was an assistant buyer there for about a year. Then I got moved to furniture, where I was in charge of outdoor furniture. I was an assistant buyer there. And then after that role, I was like, okay, this has been fun. Quick little detour. I've been in corporate Macy's for about 2 years now, and I'm ready to make my move back into something a little more creative. So I told my buyer, who is still one of the most iconic people in my professional career life. She was a very intelligent, strong Hispanic woman, and she took zero shit from anybody. And she also was very empowering to me the whole way. No matter and at some points I could see how someone may interpret it as her being mean, but it was never mean. It was never about that. It was her allowing you to come into your own and to build confidence in making your own decisions. So she wouldn't let you lean on her. If you asked her a question, she's going to ask you your opinion. I don't know, what do you think? And sometimes that can feel like someone is kind of leaving you out on the island, but she was trying to make sure that you had an opinion, that you had a point of view, because that's what being a buyer is all about. If you can't have your own opinion, if you don't have a strategy, if you don't have a point of view, then you're not going to succeed in that. So hindsight, I was wow, she's that girl. So I went to her and I was ready for a promotion. And I was I think I want to go into the design area of the company, which would have been an entire career change. So I knew it wasn't going to be a quick little 1, 2, 3, like a normal promotion. So the angel she is, she set up for me to do a shadow day through HR with someone who was an assistant designer for Macy's. So for those of you who don't know, Macy's has a bunch of brands that they design in-house and produce in-house. And you can have a career as a fashion designer and have a salary job like everybody else where you design for the company. So I was that's the best of both worlds. I have the job security. I have a nice, healthy salary, but I get to be creative and design. So I go on the shadow day, and there's a few red flags, but I'm not thinking too deep into it. I'm okay, it's not really that creative because the buyers are going to come in and tell you exactly what to do. The buyers are really the ones in a position of power. So you're not designing and being super creative. You're basically drawing and creating what someone else is telling you to do. So I was okay, but it's still a gateway. Sorry, I'm going to take a sip of my drink. Whew. So I'm sitting there and I'm it's fine. I'm kind of convincing myself that I want to do it. So it's time for me to go to HR. So HR comes and she walks in. She looks me up and down very aggressively. You know the look. This girl was I don't know, 5'10", 150 pounds, soaking wet, and very, I'm not going to say very old, a lot older than me, very old fashioned. Okay. Picture Donatella, but not as cool. So she sees me, I'm 5'1", curves all the way around. Okay. And standing in the lobby a little kid, because I was. She comes and she's not interested. She's already made up her mind. I know what's happening, but I'm whatever, I'm just going to go through the motion. I know I can do anything I put my mind to. I'm not worried about it. So I go in there. She's okay, so what are you looking to get out of this? Already I'm girl, be for real. Your attitude is garbage. So I'm I want to be an assistant designer. I know that my skills are not directly transferable, but I did go to college for this, and I'm willing to not only take like a third level assistant position, which at Macy's you usually only do 2 rotations as an assistant before you move up to an associate. So it's like I will repeat a round of being an assistant, and I will take, not only will I not ask for a raise, I will take a pay cut because buyers make a lot more money than the designers. So the salary I was making was like what an associate or even a second level associate designer would be making. I was making as an assistant. So I was like, I will do what I have to do to be able to, fulfill my dreams. She was like, okay, like, can I see your portfolio? So I'm like, yeah, I can put together my portfolio and come back tomorrow and bring it to you so that you can see. But just so you know, I haven't professionally ever been a designer, so all of my work will be from my college portfolio. She's like, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Obviously, because I've just been a buyer for 2 years within the same company. So the next day comes, I literally stayed up all night to prepare for this meeting. I'm terrified. I can't sleep. I'm so restless. I'm so anxious. And the next day I pull my portfolio together, and 15 minutes before the meeting, it gets pushed to the next day. So at first I'm pissed, I got my good clothes on. I came, I'm ready, and I want to get it over with. But at the same time, I'm like, you know what? Maybe it's a blessing in disguise. Now I have more time. I can add even more into my portfolio. So I took that night, I added even more things. I created a whole new collection line item spread to show activewear collection inspired by one of the private label brands that Macy's has. So I'm like, this is it. Like she gonna see. So the next day I go in there, she looks through my portfolio. She's flipping through it like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like a menu to a disgusting restaurant, right? Like every page she's like, scoffing, like, and I'm just sitting there like hot. I'm trying to keep my cool. And I don't know if I'm angry or embarrassed or, just hurt. Like, you're being so rude. And she looks me in the eye and she's like, this looks like a college portfolio. Y'all, when I tell you I had to keep my cool, I literally felt like I was levitating out of my chair. I'm like, yeah, it probably looks like a college portfolio because, as I mentioned, it's literally a college portfolio. So I'm really trying to keep it together. I don't feel like crying, which is good because I don't want the waterworks to go because then people feel like they won and I did not want to give her that satisfaction. So she's like, listen, your skills are at college level at best. And I can't have you in here as an assistant making what an associate makes. So I was like, yeah, I understand that. So as I mentioned, I'm willing to take a pay cut. I'm willing to go through the program again if that's what it takes to get this moving. She's like, I can't allow that. I'm sorry, I can't allow that. So I'm like, okay, so what are my options? And she looks me in the eye and hands me my portfolio back and says, I hope I'm not crushing your dreams or anything, but this is not gonna work. Y'all, I was seeing red. I walked back. She was in a different building, so I walked all the way back I was in the Macy's office that I worked in was on 46th and 6th, I want to say, in New York City. So I walked all the way back from Herald Square, and it was 12 blocks. It was raining. I was crying. I was holding my big ass portfolio. It was very Devil Wears Prada. So I get back. My buyer is looking at me like, what the hell happened to you? I break everything down. And she basically was like, if you want that job, say the word and you will have that job. But based off of the experience that you just had, are you sure that you want to be in that environment? And that question is the thing that saved me, because I knew if I wanted to be over there, I could escalate, I could do whatever I need to do to be over there. But did I want to put myself in an environment where that's how the way people treated me? Where people didn't respect me, where people looked me up and down and made me feel insecure about myself, not just physically, but in terms of my abilities. Did I want to be there? And I decided, no, I don't want to be there. And literally, as I was like having that conversation, HR from a different area emailed and asked if I was interested in interviewing for a position where I would be the associate business manager for luxury and Cinecore. So, I'm a fashion girly, and I had this opportunity that came literally as I was sitting there soaking wet crying in her office, where I would be the head of the experience for Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Burberry, Longchamp, Stuart Weitzman, like all the fashion brands that Macy's had. And I took the job. I took that job. I was there for several years. I met my best friend in the whole wide world. And while I was there, I started Coco Michelle. I had my son, and everything kind of came from that role. And I started Coco Michelle. Some of my first ever customers were people who worked in that division with me. And when the pandemic happened, I got furloughed, which is like temporary unemployment, which was a blessing because I still had my full benefits, which was always a worry for me because I have a little boy. So I still had my full benefits, but I was not getting paid, but I could collect unemployment. And I just took that time and focused 100% on Coco Michelle. And then when it was time, when they offered me my job back, I declined because I was making enough on Coco Michelle where not only I could do it full time, but my husband could do it full time and we could run it as a family business. So after that, that same team that I worked for approached me for Coco Michelle to ask if I wanted to sell it at Macy's and have a display at the same location that I used to work in. Ain't that something? I was like, absolutely. Absolutely. And I still work with that team to this day. None of the people on that team were there when I worked there, so they didn't even know. They didn't even know that I came from that team until I was like, hey, by the way, I used to work there on the team that you work on. So that's my whole story. And people that I worked with at Macy's have been the reason why I had opportunities with a lot of brands like H-E-B Groceries and Bed Bath & Beyond while they were still Bed Bath & Beyond, and just the partnerships that I established while I worked in retail and the friendships I built allowed me to get Coco Michelle in a lot of high places that wouldn't have otherwise happened. So I always like to share that story because there's a lot of lessons in it. But one of the things that I always encourage is wherever you are in life, whether it's where you want to be long-term or not, God has put you there for a reason. There's something there that you need to unlock in order to get to the next phase. So even if you know where you are right now is not going to satisfy you and make you feel whole, you still owe it to yourself to be observant, to pay attention to what it is that you're supposed to get out of this experience, because it all is the same story. It's all one journey. Everywhere that you go, every person that you interact with, it's not by accident. And it could be setting you up for something bigger than what you realize. So that's my sermon. I'm glad you guys are appreciating the story. I feel stuck, like I don't know what I should do in my life. I go through that all the time. You are not alone. The answer is there is no answer. There's not one answer. And I think that some of the things that we put pressure on ourselves about is like, who am I supposed to be? What am I supposed to do? What's my legacy? Like, we use all of this really big inflated language when really, like, in a few years' time, what seems important to you right now, you won't even remember. There's something that you were bugging about exactly 6 months ago today that you cannot recall. And that's just how life works. So if you take the pressure off and see, like, what feels good to me right now, where does it feel right, and start taking the steps, the clarity comes in the action. So if you're sitting and you're thinking, and you're not doing, the clarity is never going to come. And that's from an overthinker. Because I live by the philosophy, it ain't overthinking if it's true. There's a lot of things that I've been overthinking that came out exactly as I thought it would. And I'm like, that don't count. That wasn't overthinking. I did the right amount of thinking because I was right. But in reality, the more time you're spending thinking is the less time you're actually doing. And clarity only comes from the action. You can't think your way into clarity. You can't think your way into understanding what the next step should be. There's no thought process that you can come up with that's going to bring you the clarity that acting will. So if you have an idea and you're like, all right, this feels good enough where I want to do something, I want to take some sort of step in this direction, then you should do that. You don't have to do it right. You don't have to do it perfect. So many people get caught up in perfectionism along with the overthinking. I know a lot of people who are very talented, who have big dreams, big ambitions, but they won't step out and put their work into the world until they feel like it has reached this standard. I have seen people burn themselves out before they ever even put their foot out there. They worried themselves into burnout before they even had a chance to get off the ground. And me, I've been doing it messy. I've been doing it confused. I've been doing it scared for 6 years. And the reason why I think Coco Michelle has been able to withstand all of this is because I have been very open. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what tomorrow holds for me. All I know is that this feels good for me right now, and I want to do this to the best of my ability. But I'm going to start right now and then let the clarity come. Even with like the coloring club, right? I told y'all, like, I want to do something that allows us to have our own community. I don't really know what it's going to look like, but I'm going to start it, and I'm going to give you like the basic commitments that I'm going to give to you, and then we'll build. And each week it gets a little bit more clear, Y'all are not tripping because I'm delivering on the things that I said I'm going to deliver on. That's the most that I can do until we kind of figure out what the groove is. If I were to sit and wait until it was perfect, y'all would have missed out on, I don't even know how much content for me trying to figure things out when you guys are happy just being there with me, which is the intention of the space. So instead of trying to wait until your website is perfect, can somebody go on your website and check out and buy what you have? That's what we need to focus on right now. It doesn't have to be pretty. It doesn't have to be professional. It doesn't have to be any of that stuff right out the gate. Because the gag is y'all won't even have customers. And you will be so worried about your website being perfect. And then you have this beautiful, perfect website with no customers, and you're burnt out and you can't even figure out how to get customers because you're exhausted already. Child, don't do it to yourself. Don't be doing it to yourself. And I documented a lot of the early stages. Like, if you're into vlogs and like into like the business aspect of like starting a small business, I have like a whole plethora of videos on YouTube. You can see me on there crying. You can see me on there stressed. You can see me doing it all. I will always share the process because a lot of the gatekeeping and the secrecy of especially just Black women trying to start businesses, like that lack of knowledge and that lack of like a pipeline between one another causes us to be so much further behind. And I refuse to participate. I'm like, if I know it, I'm going to share it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do my part. I'm going to show that it's not all beautiful and pretty, that there's a lot of ugliness behind it. There's a lot of struggle. There's a lot of days where I don't know what I'm going to do. And all of that leads to a path where somehow, some way, it all works out. Because it always does. Because it has to. And that's what I believe in my heart. I've been broke before. I've been down before. And somehow, some way, I always come back. And the more times I go through those trials, I become more and more confident in myself. Someone could come and take all my money today, and I would rebuild brick by brick because I've done it before. It has to work out. No other choice. And you can too. And I believe that with my whole chest. So if you're in a situation where you feel like it's not working for you, always remember you have options. One thing about an employer, they're going to make you feel trapped, dependent. Like you can't do what you got to do. You always have options. Now, are you willing to make the sacrifices necessary to make those options become your reality? That's a question you're going to have to answer for yourself. I had to make a lot of sacrifices for Coco Michelle. A ton of sacrifices. Everybody was out running around, going on trips, doing all this, living life. I was in the studio, day in, day out. I had to make a lot of sacrifices. I had to move. I had to leave New York City to come somewhere where there was a lower cost of living. I had to make a ton of sacrifices. Sacrifices that involved my whole family. Invested all the money I had in my 401k. All of it. All of it. Gone. And I got it right back. I got it right back because I had to. It's about what are you willing to do? And you know what? Sometimes the answer is I'm not willing to do it. And that's okay too. And that's okay too. There's certain things I'm not willing to do to make it happen. And I'm clear with myself on those boundaries. And I work within them. But I'll never let anybody or any job or anything, any circumstance make me feel trapped. Like I don't have options. Always have options. I don't always like the options. Sometimes the option is I'm going to stay where I'm at and wait to see if another door opens because I don't like these ones. That's okay. It's always okay. But whatever it is that you want to do, even if the answer is you don't know what you want to do, that's okay. I'm 32. I don't have any, in a meaningful way, I don't have anything figured out beyond literally December. I don't have anything figured out. And even that stuff is subject to change. So don't put pressure on yourself, especially attached to age. I hate that. Women especially, we have an age thing where we're like, oh, by this age I want to have this. Release yourself. Release yourself from that. Don't even do it. Whatever you thought your parents or whoever you look up to had together by your age, it was a lie. It was a lie. Because even my son says things to me now where it's like, oh, mommy, you have to know this because you're my mom. It's we as children are delusional where we think our parents just know everything and have everything figured out because they're your parents. They didn't know what the hell they were doing. Just like you. They certainly did not. And as you get older, you see them now and you're like, you still don't know what you're doing. No one knows what they're doing. Not the wealthy, not the celebrities. No one knows what they're doing. We are all in this together. All we can do is show up as the best version of ourselves, whatever that looks like, whatever that feels like. And that can only be determined by you. That's it. That's it. I was preaching on here tonight. I haven't told my story in a long time. I used to have to tell it all the time. But now, I don't get to tell it that often. This is looking real cute. I'm trying to find what color I want to do for the background. I just want it to be light and easy. Nothing too crazy. Coco, my girl, where have you been? I had the Rona. I'm back. Yes, Abigail. Oh no, this was very therapeutic, actually. It was therapeutic for me too, y'all. We all need that reminder from time to time. We all do. A lot of things in our lives would be a lot easier if we learn to prioritize and focus on being consistent, not breaking the promises that we make to ourselves. Because let me tell you, one thing I'm going to do, I'm going to promise myself. I'm going to promise myself a lot of things. But I don't keep those promises to myself the same way I would if I made that same commitment to my bestie or my husband or my son. You know, you got to keep the promises that you make to yourself. If you tell yourself you're going to do something and you're going to do it consistently, you have to. Or don't even tell yourself that, because you're training yourself to lie to yourself. You're training yourself that whatever you say to yourself doesn't really matter because you can just not do it. It's just like anything else in life. If someone that you want to be friends with is always flaking on you, you're like, oh, like, let's go out, let's do this. And every time they don't show up, they don't come through, you're going to stop being friends with that person. You're going to stop believing them. The same thing goes for yourself. If you keep telling yourself you're going to show up and you don't show up, you're telling yourself, I can't trust myself. I can't trust the things that I say. So when you tell yourself something, your mind, your subconscious is like, there she go again. She always talking about something. She's always talking about something, but she's never doing it. So I'm just going to disregard that, and it's going to be business as usual. You got to train yourself. Either do it or don't say it. Don't lie to yourself. That's a bad habit, for real. And it has lasting effects. You're better off not saying that. It's worse to say, I'm going to go to the gym and not go than it is to just not even say that you're going to go to the gym to begin with. You know what I'm saying? So just only commit to things that you are actually going to see through. And if you are not in a place where you can make that commitment, don't. Start with something else. You don't have to do everything all at once. You can take baby steps. You can start slow. You can modify. Everything doesn't have to be all at once, all the time. Not the gym I feel attacked. Listen, I'm tagging myself too. That's why I'm like, I'm gonna do it when I get ready. When I get ready to do it, I'll do it then. I can tell when I feel like I'm in a place where that's realistic. Sometimes we say stuff to ourselves knowing this is not realistic. This is not realistic. I have a lot going on. I have a lot on my plate. To make a major change right now would not be in my best interest, even if it's something that I feel will make me healthier or make me more balanced. Like, we know Coco fix our lives. Listen, I've been trying to work on myself, especially like come 2020. I think we all realized our lives were in shambles, and we're like, wait, are we all collectively living in shambles, or is this a me issue? We all are. We all are, for real. But don't stress yourself out. Don't stress yourself out. Trying to you already got a lot going on. I don't know if this is anybody else, but like when things are really chaotic, and I think it's like a sense of control that I'm trying to gain, it's like everything is in disarray. And I'm like, tomorrow I'm starting my 5 a.m. morning routine and I'm going to get my life together. It's like, this is not the time, bro. This is not the time. You need to survive. You are in fight or flight. This is not the time to start your new smoothie project. This is not the time. This is not it. Just be honest with yourself. This is the coloring calendar. This is the 2023 coloring calendar. So this is not from the book. But I think she's in a book. Is she in a book? She might not be in a book. I do not have a Halloween themed book. Listen, I always have a lot to say. I don't like to come across as preachy. And I just get so impassioned with things I'm talking about that it comes across that way. But I always trying to be clear, like, disclaimer, I don't know what I'm doing. These are observations I have made from my own chaos. Yes, go to bed, go to bed. The quote is so fitting to your message. I release the limits others have given me. Hello? Hello? Release them. I think we all have examples in our lives of people telling us what we can and cannot do. Like, even when I was saying I was going to apply for that promotion at Macy's, like, someone I love immediately telling me what I can and cannot do. Like, you can't just start a job and then apply for a promotion. Who said? Why not? Maybe you can't. They ain't gonna do me. Because I can. And I did. And it worked. And I went from making $12 an hour to a $52,000 salary as my first job. And it was just like that, overnight. It's crazy. So, and I climbed all the way up that ladder. I had positions. What takes people over 10 years to achieve, I did in under 5. I was making 6 figures by the time I was 25 years old. And still didn't know what the hell I was doing. Started a business while I was working that job as a new mom. And people told me I couldn't do any of that. And I did it all at the same time because I wanted to. Don't let anybody tell you anything. Don't let anybody tell you what you can and cannot do. I don't know you, player. You must not know me. You must not know what I'm capable of. And that's fine, but don't put any of that on me. You're snitching on yourself, your own insecurities. That's called a self-report. I'm sorry you feel that way about yourself. But me and mine, I go after it and I get it done. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I'm going to figure it out. All I know is I'm going to wake up and I'm going to try something and see what happens, see if it works. Period. Sorry, I was trying to... Why am I allowed to buy your coloring book? Yes. Yes. To me, it sounds like a silly question, but then I had to realize that people are trying to be respectful. But for context, like, when I was growing up, I had no choice but to buy white coloring books. Like, the thought never crossed my mind. Like, I'm black. Am I allowed to buy this? I just bought it. I didn't have a choice. So... It's not a silly question. I get you trying to be respectful. So, I forgot what I was talking about before that. The limits other people give. Yeah, a lot of people are miserable. Not always by their own doing, but they take that misery and they project it onto other people. They want you to feel the same restrictions that they have. And a lot of times, if they've never seen it, they just genuinely believe that it's not possible. And people also do it out of love, like they're trying to protect you because they don't want you to be disappointed. They don't want you to fail. And they're trying to protect you. So it's from a place of love. But it's actually not a loving act. So if you have people in your life that are ambitious and trying to do things, don't be that person. Don't be that guy that tries to humble them or bring them down a few notches. Either support them or mind business, you know? That's it. Don't call their business or project little or adorable or cute or any other passive aggressive names, or either support their business or mind your own. That's it. And every once in a while, that person proves you wrong. And if the person who's trying to be ambitious tries long enough, eventually something's gonna stick. It's inevitable. It happens every day. Every single day. So, this is looking good. Paint her nail. How's COVID treating me? Like I slapped her and called her mama a name. Okay, she's not treating me good at all. I didn't do nothing to her. But she's moving on. She's leaving town. I'm feeling better. Do I have any suggestions on how we can figure out what we are passionate about? What you're passionate about will leave you hints throughout your life. It will show up in ways that maybe are not as obvious. Like for me, I thought I wanted to be a fashion designer, but everything, all the pieces were always pulling me towards illustration, and I was trying to figure out where I fit in, but it was always there, it was always kind of lingering, and it took me a while for that clarity. So if there's something in your life that it feels like everything always kind of connects back to, like, try and connect those dots. Try and figure out what it is that is reoccurring in your life. Like, no matter what stage you're in, no matter where you are in life, this one thing is always kind of present in some way, shape, or form. I also want to remind people that just because you're passionate about something doesn't mean you have to monetize it. Because in the year of 2023, in the year of the Beyonce Renaissance tour, okay, people feel like anything that they're remotely good at, anything that they're remotely interested in, they need to figure out how to make money off of it. You don't have to do that. You can simply be good at something, passionate about something, enjoy it, and do it just because you enjoy it. As someone who turned their passion into a job, it changes how you feel about your passion. And if you don't protect it, it can make you lose your passion entirely. So I always give that warning. Okay. It's all fun and games. You know, the expression like, oh, if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. That's a lie. That is a big lie. Because I do what I love. And every day, this feels like work. The same feelings I would get when I had to get up and go to Macy's, I feel like about coming down and coloring in the coloring book. Does that make sense to you? Because when I say it out loud, it sounds crazy. The same feelings I had about my 9 to 5, I have those same sensations. I feel those same feelings when it's time for me to come down here and color. And going live with y'all is what made me feel like it brought the spark back, the joy back to what I was doing. Because I was having that social interaction. It can get very lonely. It can get very isolating. It can become very overwhelming. You know how hard it is to create art on demand? Like, I don't know if any of you are creatives, like musicians or anything in the arts. And someone's like, create this on right now, on the spot. You have a deadline. It changes everything. Everything is different. You can't just sit down and enjoy it. You have to figure out how to make money off everything that you do. It changes. So if you want to be passionate about something, you don't have to monetize it. And what you do for work does not have to be something that you are passionate about. Everybody is not set up the same. So I'm just putting that out there. Okay. Right. Doing hair and makeup. Exactly. Any tips about how to stop stressing about the small things and decisions? Child. I have that same issue. So what are the things that I do? I'm trying to think of like how to formulate an answer. For me, what I need to consistently remind myself of is to bring the decision making into my conscious thoughts. And what I mean by that is a lot of the time we are kind of on autopilot and we're doing a lot of thinking about things that don't need to be thought about, right? But at the same time, we have big decisions that need our actual attention, and it's getting tied up into like these smallest, most minute details that don't make a difference. So when I'm organizing my to-do list, and I think I have Notion on my iPad and I can show you, I had to like start actually looking at my decisions based off of the impact that it's going to have. Because everything in my mind was like equal importance, right? Everything was a priority. Everything felt like a fire drill. All the way down to like taking a shower, washing my face, brushing my teeth was like equally as big of a decision as things that I had to do for work. Like I was thinking about everything so critically. And it was becoming obviously very overwhelming and I was getting decision fatigue. So you need to have like your non-negotiables, the things that you do every day. This is what I do. This is who I am. These are my habits. Then you have to look at, here are the things that need to get done at some point. And you start looking at it based off of what is the impact this is going to have and what is the urgency that this has. So if something has low impact, but it's urgent, that's something that you should get done at some point that day, but it's not the first thing that has to get done. Okay? If you have something that is urgent and high impact, like if I do not get this done, there will be direct consequences. Or if I cannot get this done, I will not be able to do the other things that I need to do today, then that needs to be top of the day. That's first thing out the gate. I need to get this done. The whole like prioritizing, like do the hardest thing first didn't always work for me because sometimes the hardest thing didn't need to get done, But this little quick email that I needed to send is holding up everything when I should have just sent that first thing. So for me, like, I needed to like get real literal in how I thought about the decisions that I was making and put the habits on autopilot, and then really use my brain power to organize what needed to what needed to happen in what order. Does that make sense? Oh, that makes sense. I don't remember who asked that question. Hey, how come my music stopped? There we go. This is from the coloring calendar. This is September in the 2023 coloring calendar. And she is very cute. I love her. I remember when I first drew her on my iPad, I was like, yes. Uh-oh. Buttercup Yellow, don't fail me now. And I literally have no rubbing alcohol left, so if this dies, it's a wrap. Yes, I love that it's giving fall. That's what I was going for. Do I have another Buttercup Yellow? Because she's looking like she about to quit. And do. That's what I'm talking about. Alright, I feel better because I was about to have a little light panic. Because you see, she's clocking out. Are you going to make a kids coloring book? Probably not. Not anytime soon. So you draw the coloring club pages on the spot, or do you have them already in the drafts? I draw them specifically for the club. Except for the first one I did for my Chips Ahoy collab that's coming out. Oh shoot, I gotta do something for that. That reminds me, I gotta do the voiceover for that. I didn't have a voice, so I couldn't do it. But yeah, I usually draw it with the coconuts in mind. I'm like, what would be fun for the girls? And that's what I do. Did you paint the glasses with a special pen because it looks 3D? No, I did not. That is just the same markers that I'm using right now. Pretty cool, eh? I'm going to post this video tomorrow so you guys can see how I did it. Yes. Do I have dip on your nails? They are gorgeous. No, these are gel polish. Katie, my nail tech, she be getting it with that gel. She know what to do. I'm glad you are finally getting into that coloring book. I love to hear it when the coconuts get the confidence to open the book. Y'all are quick to get the book, but y'all don't want to open it up. Y'all get a little nervous on that part. Have I colored any of them? I planned on coloring them and got sick. I did the first one I did. This is the only one I've done so far. And this one is the Chips Ahoy collab. So this one will come out. But I did not get to color any of them, unfortunately. Actually, no, I did 2 of them, but one of them I colored in digitally. And I didn't like how it came out, so I didn't really sit. I was like, this is not what I saw in my head. You're scared to mess them up? Don't be scared. Thank you, Brianna. Yes. That's right. Just go for it, y'all. That's how you're going to learn. That's how you're going to get better. Start with a page that you're like not all the way in love with. Or I've seen like a lot of coconuts are making like photocopies so that they have like some tester pages before they commit to the actual page. That's not a bad idea. I ain't mad at you. Shoot. Do what you gotta do. I want y'all to enjoy. I don't want y'all to be stuck to it. But once you actually start coloring, then you'll start to like be like, okay, this is not as scary as I thought. And a lot of things that you're worried about, you can fix. Like, it's really not even that deep. So if you do something you don't like it, you'll be able to fix it. You'll be able to get to a point where it's like, okay, you know, it's like doing your hair where it's like, you're going to go through a few stages. There's going to be a couple stages where you're worried. You're very concerned. You're like, I don't know if this is going to look that good. I might have to call out tomorrow. I might have to come out with plan B. Tomorrow might be a hat day. But at the end of the day, you ain't going to be going outside looking crazy, are you? No, you're going to figure something out. You're going to figure something out. I saw the markers. I'm just not sure which ones to order. There are several categories. What kind of... I don't get what you mean. Several categories in terms of what? Like alcohol-based versus other kinds? Or are you talking about colors? Once I finish this background, we can do a sneak peek at the 2024 coloring calendar. Very exciting. Well, hello there. I'm doing better. Had to take a sip of my drink. And if I'm breathing all up on the mic, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. My breathing has changed. Ms. Rona took my lungs and said, yeah, you won't be using these for quite some time. There are several to order. Water-based alcohol, there are tons. Where are you looking? I don't understand. I have the markers that I use linked, but I don't know what you're looking at right now. For me, I use Ohuhu alcohol-based markers. Water-based markers are going to give you streaks, so I don't use those. But any context as to what you're looking at will help me be able to tell you my recommendation. Every time I see art, get so inspired. Yes, I love that. Thank you for telling me that. I love that. I want to see the other Coconut Cousin Club pictures. I know, everyone hasn't joined the Discord yet. I've been sending emails with the link to it. So if you're in the Coconut Coloring Club, join the Discord. Share with the coconuts what you're working on. I like to be in there nosy. I was looking through everything when I was in bed last week. My link is not working. Oh no. Well, you can visit CocoMichelleIllustrations.com, or you can try the link on my Instagram. See if that one's working for you. My hand is starting to cramp now. What fonts? What fonts? I don't know if it's me being old, even though I'm not old, but I feel old on TikTok. But people don't talk in complete sentences. And I'm always like, I need a little bit more. Just a little bit more. A little more context. You got here at the end. Oh no. Well, I'll post this as a TikTok. Just received your order today. Yes, love that. Love that. Thank you. I hope you enjoy. Don't sit on them too long. Make sure you actually color in them. Okay. So, I was trying to find a nice gray so I could shade the cup. I just cracked my knee. That felt good. All right. Shade this. Okay. I need to go in and kind of clean this up a bit. The Christmas coloring book will come back October. Maybe a little sooner, but it will come out once the full Christmas collection has been launched. All right. Yes, I do ship to the UK. I cannot breathe, bro. I'm gonna try this one out. This is one of Bellen's color pencils. She's a little girl who has her own colored pencil collection. I think she has a bunch of supplies. She has crayons. She has a coloring book. Oh, you didn't get the email? Check your spam too, Brianna. But in the blog there's a Discord post that has the link where you can join it. Ooh, this is not showing up. It's very faint. Why is this like... This feels like there's something... This is not even as dark as I need it to be. Try a darker color. Alright. I'll try a different color. I used some purple when I was shading her skin. Obsessed. will be doing that going forward. And I use a little bit of blue. I don't know if it shows up, but it I don't know, just does something right. There we go. Found it? Okay, good. Yeah, there's purple around here, and her cheekbones. I like it, Picasso. I'm just gonna kind of shade in between some of these braids. I'm not doing anything too crazy. And plus, it's getting late. I was actually on time today, y'all. Well, I was 2 minutes late. I'm not gonna lie. But for me, that's on time. Can you notice? Yes, ordered the book. My typical live days are supposed to be Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. You may notice that today is none of those days. So it really kind of depends. But if I'm going to go live, it's going to be 10:15 Eastern Standard Time. So I just tell the coconuts, turn on your post notifications so that you never miss a live. But I'm going to post this on YouTube, tonight's session, and see if there's any value to doing that. Because I can definitely make that a habit if that is useful, or for people who miss the lives, we can start having chit chats. Coco fix my life. You know, you guys can watch it and fall asleep and not be stressed that you're missing something, because you could just go back and watch it. Because I know this is very soothing, and y'all be ready to visit the Sandman and be dozing off. And I don't want to stop that. Oh, I can't? I will do that. I will set up so that the Discord is informed. So the Coco Club will know when I'm live. And Coco Club, I'm going to be reaching out. Ooh, this white is crispy on here tonight. To see if we can set up like a Zoom live with just the club members so that we can do our thing. This white is so crispy. Coco, my Discord link says invalid. Oh, Lord. All right, let me look into that. I'll look into that for you. Because we need to get you up in there. So have you, Brianna, have you gotten any of the emails that I've sent out for the past couple of weeks? Is that where the link is saying invalid? Or is it invalid in the blog? So I don't know if they expire or anything. You went through the email and it said that? I wonder if it expired. Try going through the blog on the site and see if that still gives you that error. I'm just going through the center of all the braids and like adding the highlights to give it that dimension. Yeah, they expire. Okay. And if anything, Brianna, I can DM you a direct invite. Tatiana, did you get into it? Were you able to get a link into it, or do you need one too? You need one too? Okay. I will look into that after I get off here. Wow, look how shiny this side looks compared to this side. It's crazy. That's like what the fun part about art to me is like, I'm just going on and making these little white scribbles and it's making it look shiny. And it's like, it's crazy. I always feel like a little kid. Like it never gets old. It never gets old. Because now she has shiny hair. And all I did was a little scribble. Like I'm not too careful. Like I'm just literally making little zigzags. I used to be like so meticulous with every little thing until I realized when you look at it as a whole, and none of that matters. It's how it all plays together in your eye, in your mind. Your subconscious just does the rest for you. Your mind's like, oh, that's shiny. That's what's happening here. So it doesn't have to be perfect or precious. Your brain knows what I'm trying to tell it. It's crazy. Yeah, the jewelry too. Like her sunglasses. When I got done with these, I was like, these are tripping me out. Because I feel like I could just snatch them off her face. Like, what in the world? It's crazy. The link in the blog is expired as well. All right, let me refresh that. We gonna get y'all in. I was like, hello, where's everybody at? They outside the club, they can't get in. Crazy. The white dot for the win. Wowzers. Love it. This bled through. That was my bad. I'm not gonna stress about it. We gonna be all right. I'm probably gonna do like a few other little details, but nothing too crazy. So this is how it turned out. September in the books. I don't know if I've colored every month in here. No, I didn't do January. This is February. And these are all on my page in the calendar playlist. So this is February. This is March. Love them. They were the 2021 calendar girls. They were the cover girls. This is April. Now, y'all remember her. She was in the Volume 3 coloring book. She's one of my favorite pages in there. And I love her in here, too. This color palette goes crazy. All right. This is May. Love this. is June. Love her. She's in my other coloring book as well. July never got colored. July I was moving. This was last month. This was August. Love her. And then we just did September. She's a vibe. Let's take a sneak peek at what's coming up for October. Ooh, love her. Love. I'll be happy to do her. Love. Okay, so now let's do a sneak peek of the 2024 calendar that I have been working on tirelessly. It has been quite the journey. All right. I'm gonna show it to you raw, unfiltered. Okay. So each one will have a colored version because I have the traditional calendar and then I have the coloring calendar. So let me show you the pages that are done for the coloring. So let me zoom out a little bit. Oops. Okay. So this is a little sneak preview. This one is being colored right now. And they will all have quotes like how these ones do. So if it looks a little awkward with the layout, you know why. I worked on this on live, I think, with y'all. So this is how she's doing. Love, love, love. Very exciting. She's from the coloring club. She's going to be, I think, September. This one I'm repurposing. I'm going to make it like more fallish. This one is going to be November. It's going to say like thankful. She's going to have a turtleneck, blah, blah, blah. She's going to be, I think, December. And then these are the colored versions. Okay, so I told y'all about this, right? So I'm gonna show y'all. So this was my original version that I colored by myself with no influence. This was the version that my husband created with my help because he can't color. He picked the colors. I didn't like this. I liked this better, but there were elements of this that I liked better. So then we came up with this version, which is the best version, which I wouldn't have been able to come up with this if I didn't start here, go through this to get here. So you see why he's necessary, unfortunately? Because this is a no for me, but this is a yes. And I needed this to get this. So this is January. She's our January girly. These are probably going to be the cover girls. So this will be the cover and it will say 2024. Cannot believe we're in 2024. Not unfortunately. Yeah, unfortunately, I kind of need him around. This is the one I'm working on right now before I got on live. It's going to be a denim jacket. It's going to have a quote on her jacket, like kind of like look like spray painted on. So we'll see how that goes. I'm thinking it's going to be kind of similar to that page that we did. Was that in the summer book? Where we had that dark blue background? Yes. Similar to this vibe. So that's going to be like the kind of palette we're working with here. I use, what is this app called? Procreate. Got COVID brain. Thank you. So it's going real good. I've been working a lot on this. It's exhausting. But this is the flow of it. So January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. Oh, you guys can't even see everything. I'm like going through everything. So actually, I'll just keep it down here and show you in order. I don't like that this has color and not the other ones don't. Okay. So I'm missing 2 more months, but I'll show you. January, February, March, Women's History, International Women's Month. April, May, June, July, August, September, no October, no November, and then she's December. So, can we buy the coloring pages for Procreate? No, but you can join the coloring club where I have digital pages. That's the only place where I'll offer it for like digital, so I can control it so nobody can take it and try and sell it on Etsy, which is what happened to me in the past. Okay. May and July have me in a chokehold already. Yeah. Those are good ones. The link is in my bio where it says Coco's Coloring Club, or you can just go on the website and it will lead you there, my friends. At the end of the year, you should post your top 20 colored. I should, right? For my birthday post, I did show I think I showed everything I colored this year. Colored a lot this year. I was going to do a rate my coloring pages. So maybe I'll do that. I didn't do a coloring book flip through in a long time. I haven't done a coloring book flip through in a long time because I've been ill. No, the coloring club is not free. It's $10 a month. Okay. This one, I done took the pages out of. I gotta put this back somewhere in here. I think it was right here. This book has been through a lot. It has traveled with me. It has got spilled on. And it still stands the test of time. And this is a production sample, okay? This one wasn't even stapled all the way, which is why I was able to rip the pages out. You just ordered this one? Yes! Summer edition. Summer's still here for a little bit. Summertime. So many colored pages. I don't know what numbers this page did, but I felt like it wasn't enough. She should have got more love. TikTok was mad at me. Still gotta do her. There's so many we still gotta do. It's almost time to switch over to the holiday book. This one most certainly didn't get enough love. Are y'all crazy? These are brush tip Sharpies. Every single one in the pack. And the algorithm gonna do what? Sit on it? Crazy as hell. This one. Now, I know I was sick. Maybe I should redo it with my normal voice now. Because y'all be surprised how much my voice plays into the engagement I get. I'm like, are y'all here for the art or for the lullaby? A little bit of both. Then we got this. Thank you so much, ma'am. Yes, the blue hair girl, she was giving. This was the 3 marker challenge. You'll be rewatching this and this ain't got enough likes for me. I'll be watching it too, nah. TikTok, run it back. You didn't show the right people. You didn't show the right people. We got this one. Because for me to repost one of my oldest videos and to that be doing more numbers than some of my latest stuff. And TikTok is biased. Whenever I show crayons, that's when they want to push my videos out. We've graduated. We've graduated from the crayons. Okay? We've graduated. She real cute. She got a little side boobie. Okay? She's strutting. She's platinum. She's a natural blonde, obviously. She has more money than all of us. She works hard and simultaneously has never worked a day in her life. Okay? Hopefully adding the lives to YouTube will bring more audience. I hope so. It's the crayons. I know, right? It's the crayons. I don't know. Maybe it gets the kids engaged when they see them crayons. But I be feeling like I need to like throw the algorithm some crayons if it was on. I'm like, I don't feel like I should have to do that. I'm a strong, independent black woman. I don't need an algorithm to tell me what to do. I don't like that. I don't like it. But I'll do it. I'll do it if that gets me to the people I need to get to. Y'all want to see a crayon from time to time? I could throw a crayon at you. I could do it. Now this is volume 3. Hello, Crayola must be one of TikTok's investors. Oh, who need to step the money up. Why we never do her yet? She's so cute. I definitely need to do another tie-dye number. I'm gonna have to watch that video back to see how I even did that, because me looking at it right now, I'm confused. Some things I'm like, I don't know who took over this wrist to create these, because I don't know how I did that. Love the way you color lips. Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. I knew they were gonna love this. I knew it. And I made it purple. Because, the purple crew, they're gonna come through regardless. No matter what. I feel like there's like psychology behind this. Like, I can't just create art. I gotta think. My favorite color is green. She's so cute. Space buns. Orange. She is the moment. See, I could have put a little more white. A little more white on here. Get that popping. I ain't gonna sit here and do that right now. But I could have. I know the bubble bath. I'm scared to do that one, but we need to. I'm like, I need to finish a book, and then meanwhile, I just be coming out with more coloring books to add on to things I need to color. But I guess that means we'll never run out of content. The way Instagram is running this back, like, I think it's one of my most viewed reels. Very confusing to me. Just random, like, it just picks up. That's what, I'm going to leave you with this last message. I'm going to bring it back to church. Back to Coco's Fix My Life. If you are somebody who is creating on any of these platforms, whatever it is that you do, the algorithm is a lie. Because you can take that same video, post it with a different music, post it on a different platform, whatever. You can make no changes, and it will completely take off and have a completely different reaction. It is not you. It is not your work. It is not your art. It is the machine. So keep doing what you're doing. Don't let the machine get in your head. Whatever you're doing, just be consistent and be patient. We need to do another vitiligo. I need to learn how to do albino skin. Every time I do it, it's not giving what it needs to give. Someone asked about the galaxy hair. I have this on my page. where I like show in depth how I did it, because I don't all the way remember. But I remember I did like the purpley blues first, and then kind of ombre it with the dark colors, and then just made all the little stars and stuff on top. I do draw all these myself. I use a white Posca pen or white Prismacolor pencil for my white highlights. So y'all, that about wraps it up. I stayed an extra 20 minutes. Okay. So this is my first time back with y'all. And I missed y'all and I love y'all. So this is what we created tonight. I will post this tomorrow, hopefully. Make sure you guys stay tuned. I will be live tomorrow for sure. Wednesday is when I drop my Brewmate collab. So make sure you guys show up and show out and grab you a cup, okay? We don't know Stanley. Stanley leaks all in our tote bag. You want your Telfar to be soaking from the inside? No. Get you a Brewmate with a Coco Michelle design on it, okay? So I love you guys. I will see you tomorrow. And I will look into getting you the girlies, the Discord link updated right now before I go to bed. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye.